I prefer home births to hospital births. Most births are just natural. It's a very natural experience. Birthing is very natural. That's not whoa. That Robyn and I are having with just our children.
Kody's declaration that he prefers home births over hospital ones had me rolling on the floor laughing. As a group of women passionately shared their birth stories, Kody, with all the seriousness of a Supreme Court justice, chimed in, "I just think home births are more natural." I couldn't help but burst out laughing. Honestly, how about we set up a tell-all episode where Kody gets strapped to one of those contraptions that simulates childbirth pain for men? Now that would be entertainment. Picture it, popcorn in hand as we watch the alpha male squirm in agony. I mean, we deserve this. The wives deserve this. Talking is cheap, and I want to see Kody put his money where his mouth is. I prefer when a birth is nice on my wallet, he might as well say. I give serious credit to women who can handle natural births, but let's not forget Christine, who still raves about her epidural to this day. It took her until her last child to realize that opting for a hospital birth with pain medication was a game changer. She went through all that unnecessary pain just because they had to keep the birth under wraps so Kody wouldn't pitch a fit. Because, in his eyes, that's how birth is meant to be done. It's astonishing how modern medicine has saved countless women's lives during childbirth, yet Kody pushed this outdated notion of the proper way to give birth. He can't even give his daughter a shout-out for having a procedure to safely deliver her 2 babies without throwing in a jab about his own preferences. "I prefer this," he said, as if that somehow trumps a life-saving decision. Hello, wonderful viewers. Welcome back to Reality Nexus X. I'm Elena, and I'm thrilled to explore some captivating topics with you today. Thank you for joining me. Let's dive right in. Honestly, I couldn't care less about the births. It feels like they're wasting so much screen time on filming my Kelty's twins being born. I'd much rather see Janelle and Christine lawyer up or get more interviews with the older kids. That's the stuff that really matters. It's like they're grasping at straws for content and just using this birth footage as filler. Did anyone else notice they recycled that same segment from the last episode, just swapping out the couch interviews with Kody's daughter during game night? I had to double-check to make sure I wasn't watching a rerun. Seriously, who cares about more birth footage? I'd actually be more invested if the show still had that vibe of, "We're a normal family, come join us on our life journey." Back in the day, the births would have packed a punch because we saw my Kelty grow up in what seemed like a happy home. But now, it's all about 5 adults airing their dirty laundry, and oh look, my Kelty shows up for a random episode. The births just feel so out of place and irrelevant now. Additionally, game night? Sure, if you count the blinding sunlight streaming through the window as part of the ambience. No wonder they're all huddled on the floor. It's the only place in that chateau where they can throw a sheet over the blazing sun and pretend it's a cozy October evening. And let's take a moment to appreciate the art on the walls. Seriously, those paintings are weirder than their usual decor. This so-called family game night felt completely staged. Meri was excited because, let's be honest, this was probably a first for her. Oh, Kody, we see you trying to manufacture these moments. This was definitely filmed much more recently than back in 2022. Just take a look at the previews for next week. You can see that the kids have really grown, especially Sol, who had a noticeable growth spurt since November 2022. It's hard to believe this is the same wonderful family game night they're trying to sell us. Plus, they were so negative about Logan's wedding. Kody practically threw a tantrum about not wanting to go, and Janelle chimed in with her delight that it was finally over. Seriously? Janelle's reaction felt pretty typical for someone who's newly divorced and suddenly faces their ex at a family event. It's weird, awkward, and downright stressful. I can only imagine her social battery was completely drained by the end of it. And let's be real, Kody and Robyn were probably the ones making it awkward for everyone else who just wanted to enjoy the celebration. Kody claimed he saw Janelle but wished he hadn't, insisting everyone else was trying to prove they could have more fun than him. How out of touch do you have to be to think that? Don't worry, Kody, no one can be a bigger jerk than you. It's hard to believe he was even contemplating skipping his son's wedding because he was mad at the moms. What a lovely father figure. Honestly, I was so out of it while watching last night that I didn't even connect the dots that it was Logan's wedding. Like, duh, come on, wake up. I find that big events like weddings usually come with a sigh of relief at the end. There's so much planning and stress leading up to that one blissful day that you can't help but feel a weight lift once it's over. So I don't think Janelle meant her comment in a bad way. It's just the reality of dealing with family drama. Additionally, family fun at Sister Wives star Christine's daughter, Aspen's wedding versus family fun with Kody and Robyn. Yeah, there's no comparison. Kody looks bored out of his mind, and deep down, he knows it. This is a guy who feels the need to move and reset every few years. He's relocated his family 19 times. Playing games at home with the kids just doesn't cut it for him. He craves attention, and Robyn has built her entire personality around stroking his ego while invalidating the other wives. Now that they're out of the picture, what's left for him to talk about after a while? At least with the other wives, Christine knew how to make game nights fun with food. Meri brought adventure and friends into the mix, and Janelle was all about camping and stargazing. He could have had a blast with them. But with Robyn, it's all about shopping and her fear of everything outside her bubble. Watching them play one round of a game that can end in seconds, so staged and painfully awkward. I couldn't help but chuckle as Kody fumbled over his words, trying to hype up how much fun his Robyn family has hanging out all the time. When Christine and Janelle are together, whether with the kids or not, it's so natural and relaxed. They're not trying to convince anyone they're having more fun than Kody. Instead, they're doing what they've always done, living their lives separately from him and enjoying themselves. Remember when Kody and Robyn took that 11-day honeymoon? Janelle, Christine, and Meri took the kids out to play and have fun without him. It's like when Kody's with one wife, Robyn's texting him, making him interrupt his time with the others just to handle her kids' needs. The other wives are just doing what they've done for years, parenting their kids and having a great time without Kody dragging them down. However, why was Sister Wives star Robyn Brown eating that caramel apple like it was a competition? It felt like Kody made that bet with Meri about not eating more caramel apples if she managed to pull out the Jenga block just to make a not-so-subtle point about how Robyn was devouring that apple graphically. We all remember how he reacted to Christine munching on her cheesy nachos. He was practically repulsed. And sticky caramel apples as a snack during a game that requires finger dexterity? Genius move, right? I thought Kody made the bet to avoid eating the apples altogether because he didn't like them. That would explain the glare Robyn shot him when he brought it up. But seriously, it's hilarious that he freaked out over Christine and her nachos. Yet there he was, watching Robyn stuff a giant piece of apple into her mouth. She looked so ridiculous trying to talk while chewing, with that massive chunk still hanging out, like it was trying to escape. Honestly, I'm surprised we didn't see drool or hear her slurp it back in. Robyn was definitely trying to bring some seasonal festivity to their totally normal game night. Meanwhile, Christine's family apparently gets together to discuss strippers. How wholesome. Kody likes to paint his family as the picture of goodness and wholesomeness, with their delicious candied apples and family-friendly games. Did you see how well-worn those games looked? They definitely weren't fresh off the delivery truck the day before. Kody's all about family values, of course, and yet he expects us to believe that the bulk of the kids and ex-wives are lying about everything. Meanwhile, Robyn and her kids could use a lesson in table manners. Watching them chew with their mouths wide open and smack their food was just plain gross. Also, sister wives star Kody Brown and Robyn Brown. What is even happening here? I just watched the latest episode, and I'm shaking my head in disbelief. They're like a walking contradiction, an oxymoron if you will. Let's break this down. Firstly, Kody wants Christine to end their relationship on good terms, with the hope they can get back together later. Seriously? You told her you weren't attracted to her anymore, and you think that's not selfish. Secondly, then there's Meri. Kody's been saying he doesn't love her and hasn't spent time with her in decades. But now he wants her to leave on friendly terms? How noble of him. Thirdly, let's talk about the kids. Kody doesn't bother to discuss what's going on with them, yet Meri, who wasn't even around during the family struggles, now hates Christine for leaving. And Kody sees this as some twisted loyalty. What a way to validate his obsession with loyalty. Fourthly, Robyn and Kody are so wrapped up in their own love bubble that they completely ignore the impact it's having on the Poly family they claim to cherish. It's honestly exhausting to watch. And Meri, she's just repeating what she hears at home. Robyn thought she was throwing Christine under the bus, but really, she's just exposing herself. Kody goes on to call Christine a wife and lazy for not cooking and cleaning, as if Robyn does any better. And let's not forget, he's apparently never loved Christine or found her attractive. But sure, keep dreaming that she'll come around. The lack of self-awareness, accountability, and understanding of the consequences of their actions is mind-blowing. And don't even get me started on their parenting. Keeping the kids in the dark about Kody's other families in the real world. How are they supposed to learn how to navigate life when they're being treated like children? I mean, as much as I think Kody's older daughters can be mean girls, I can only hope they're writing in their journals. Maybe one day we'll get a breaking free memoir that reveals how infantilized, lied to, and stunted they felt. Can't wait for that tell-all. As well as listening to reality star Janelle Brown talk about the event at Logan and Michelle's wedding was heartbreaking. It was clear she really missed the connection with Kody, the father of her child. She doesn't seem to be looking for a traditional marriage with him. She just wants to feel that bond. When your child is experiencing a significant moment like a wedding, it's natural to want to share that joy with the other parent. Janelle seemed genuinely sad that such a beautiful day was overshadowed by the adult issues between them. It's like she was blindsided by Kody's indifference to her and their marriage. For a while, she might have been in denial, believing everything was fine. But that illusion shattered when Kody started forgetting their kids' birthdays, attempted to kick Gabe and Garrison out of the house, and completely ignored Savannah at Christmas. Those actions must have been devastating. The death of Garrison, along with Kody not coming back to the house with Gabe, if that really happened, was likely the final straw. I can't even imagine how a father could do that to his child. If Janelle had any inkling that Gabe might end up in such a precarious situation, she wouldn't have sent him there alone. After that, everything must have felt completely broken. Furthermore, I really don't understand why people are upset with Mykelti for wanting Robyn around. In the latest episode, it became clear that none of the original 3 wives or Kody showed up to support her when she needed it. It's like they've all forgotten that in earlier seasons, they used to worry about Mykelti the most and even nicknamed her Curious George for her toddler antics. Robyn comes into the picture, and while I can see some manipulation happening here, why did it take a stranger to step in and give Mykelti what she needed? She was just a kid, and Christine allowed her to live with Robyn and act as a nanny. All the wives were supposed to be maternal figures, right? Christine has a close bond with all the kids because she was there while the others were busy working. So why can't Robyn have a similar relationship with Mykelti? Honestly, I'm indifferent about Mykelti's feelings for Robyn. I don't think her siblings care much either. What annoys me about Mykelti is the same thing that irritates me about Robyn. They both want to have it all. They set boundaries for themselves, but completely disregard the boundaries of others in the family. Mykelti doesn't want to deal with Meri, and she won't listen to anyone defending her. Totally valid. And sure, she wants to play peacemaker among her siblings, wanting the family to come back together, also valid. But she's clearly taking sides and, worse, invalidating her mother's and siblings' experiences with Kody and Robyn. If Mykelti wants to maintain relationships with Kody and Robyn, that's great for her. But doing that while essentially calling her siblings liars and claiming to want to reunite the family. Girl, bye. I get that she's changed her opinion of them recently, but this is exactly why you shouldn't talk about things you don't fully understand on a public platform for years. Now she's having to walk back some of those earlier comments from her Patreon. Let's be real, Mykelti was just like Eri, she craved attention. If her parents said the sky was blue, she'd argue it was orange. Robyn, on the other hand, needed an ally and strategically aligned herself with the most vulnerable, like Meri and Mykelti. What has she really done that's kind? She's just there. I'm sure Mykelti acted very differently around Robyn because she was trying to please her, just like Meri does when she nervously chews her fingers around her. It's like they're both thinking, please like me so I can fit in. And can we talk about Robyn's role in all of this? In those early days, she wasn't involved in the daily chaos of the big house, so it was easy for her to be there for Mykelti when they were separated from the other wives. I don't hate Mykelti, I just find her pretty annoying. However, wouldn't it be an absolute blast to see Christine, Meri, and Janelle watching the early episodes together, just like some of the kids are doing? I would gladly send Kody and Robyn packing with their lame storylines, complete with the victim complex and zero accountability, just to witness how the ladies react to their past with fresh eyes and a bit more maturity. I can imagine some of those episodes might be tough to watch, especially with everything surrounding Garrison, but I really think they'd be honest about what was happening during those infamous couch confessions. Plus, they could finally answer a ton of lingering questions, like what on earth Kody was thinking when he went shopping with the in-laws. I mean, seriously, why did he get Robyn that pricey clock and give Janelle a tin sign, even after the moms warned him those were unfair choices? Can we please start a petition for this? I'd be all in. Also, when the mother of 6, Janelle Brown moves, it would devastate me. Really? Do you think Robyn actually believes that, or is she just putting on an act to appear sympathetic on camera? Honestly, I can't buy for a second that she cares whether Janelle moves or not. Financially, it might be a hit, sure, but that's a convenient excuse. All she had to do was say, Kody, get in the car. We're going to see your kids, and you're going to apologize for the estrangement. Janelle would have forgiven him in no time. I love how she and Kody whine about how the audience doesn't understand the whole picture. Well, newsflash, dummies, we're seeing every bit of the picture you're showing us on TV. If there's something missing, that's a you problem, not ours. Not once have we seen Robyn tell Kody to fix things. And let's be real, we've watched her direct him for years, so we know she can do it when she wants to. Yet, she never used her so-called powers of Kody speak to mend these relationships she claims to be so devastated about losing. I really wish the production team would step in and ask, so when was the last time you spoke to Janelle? Or, do you even know where she lives right now? That would be a reality check they desperately need. Moreover, Sister Wives star Kody Brown is genuinely a demon at this point. The change in his eyes over the years is alarming. Since about season 14, he's become incredibly mean and aggressive. It's honestly triggering to watch. It's scary to see someone spiral like that in real time, and the delusions he's trapped in are only enabled by Robyn. I mean, seriously, girl, get him some help. What are you doing with your life? I've been binge watching the show, and the shift in him is wild. It seems to coincide with his hair thinning and this newfound obsession with working out and acting all alpha. I wouldn't be surprised if he's been influenced by the manosphere and is on steroids. It's like he's trying to compensate for something, and it's just not a good look. Plus, the reality star Kody Brown seriously can't wrap his head around why his wives are leaving. It's like he walked into each of their vulnerabilities and just pushed until they had no choice but to walk away. I find it fascinating that Robyn, who seems to speak Kody's language, doesn't get it, especially after watching the show. Take Meri, for example. She's incredibly organized, almost OCD, and she thrives on order. Kody kept her in a constant state of confusion, always changing things up. He'd ask her to do one thing, and just when she complied, he'd flip the script and demand something completely different. She genuinely believed that if she did what he wanted, he'd eventually change his mind. Then there's Janelle. He had a perfect opportunity to be honest with her, saying something like, maybe we just aren't attracted to each other. I can see her rationalizing it, thinking he was good for her kids, and figuring that at 53, life would balance out. But instead, he targeted her boys directly. When that didn't work, he ignored Savannah altogether. That was the breaking point for her. And Christine, always the romantic and the fun one. She adored the attention and was the one Kody could count on for a good time. But when he told her she wasn't attractive to him and that there would be no romance, she was out the door. It's all so calculated, not exactly great planning, but he figured out how to push them out without ever having to say go. Now, what's it going to be with Robyn? Maybe he'll hit her with the money angle. We can't afford this anymore. You need to stop spending. I can just picture her getting a divorce in a heartbeat if he tried that. I honestly think Kody managed to string Meri along for so long with no emotional or physical attention under the guise of their sacred loneliness, and he thought he could do the same with Christine. For Kody and Robyn, it was convenient to keep Meri and Christine at arm's length while still ensuring they contributed to the bank of Kody through their show earnings and NLM money. They maintained the illusion of a family unit just long enough to film those family gatherings, only to retreat to Robyn's safe space afterward, where he wouldn't be bothered. When Christine finally said, "Fucking this, I deserve better," it not only shattered his ego, but also disrupted his plans for the lifestyle he and Robyn had come to expect. Heaven forbid Kody and Robyn actually have to come up with a down payment for Robyn's McMansion without Meri and Janelle's financial contributions. It's clear they wanted a monogamous lifestyle, but expected polygamous family money to support it all. Share your thoughts in the comments. Do you agree or disagree? If you enjoyed the video, please like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Your feedback is appreciated. Thanks for watching.